Hi and welcome. I am April Tarango, an instructional coach for secondary math. I hope that every teacher, regardless of grade level or subject area, can use this video to learn how to pair PowerPoints and videos to easily create engaging lessons on Nearpod. This video is in support of our district commitment that every student can and must learn at grade level and beyond. We must always strive to teach with equity every day, making it our permanent perspective. In this video, you'll learn how to easily take an existing PowerPoint to create interactive slides on Nearpod. You also learn how to take a pre-existing video and insert interactive questions. These two skills are the quickest, easiest ways to build a Nearpod lesson that can be used either synchronously or asynchronously. I will be jumping around and using problems from both Go Math and Big Ideas, so you can see a little variety from both. Please know that the source of the problems is not important today, as we are just focusing on how to put things into Nearpod. Teachers that do not teach math will still be able to connect and see how they can make this process work with their curriculum. Use the timings listed here to advance through the video to get to the parts that you need the most. We're going to be going over how to use PowerPoints to easily make your own video, where to find pre-made videos, uploading videos to Nearpod, using PowerPoint to create Nearpod slides, and saving and assigning your Nearpod lesson. Just advance to the parts that you need or watch the whole video. It's pretty long, but I just wanted to give you this option so you can jump to the parts that you need the most. Okay, in Big Ideas, I want to get some problems to put on my PowerPoint. So I'm going to go to what is called the dynamic classroom. In the dynamic classroom, you can select your chapter and the lesson that you want to look at. So I'm going to pick chapter 7, lesson 1, and there's a lot of good problems in here. There's warm-up problems, there are cumulative review warm-up problems, teaching examples. So I'm just going to go to example 1. This matches what is exactly in the book. I'm going to use my snipping tool to snip this picture, and I'm just going to copy this picture and paste it directly into my PowerPoint. All right, so now I have a picture to work on. Next, I want to add a video of myself explaining how to do this problem. So I'm going to go up to the tab at the top that says Slideshow, and I'm going to hit Record Slideshow. And I get a big window of my slideshow, but I also get this second window. This was over on my other monitors. I'm just dragging it over so you can see. But this window is where I can do all of my recording and drawing. So you can see at the top left there's a record button. At the bottom right there is a little window of myself and an option to turn this on and off. Also an option to turn on and off your microphone. So you could just do a voiceover if you wanted to just do voice only. But I'm going to leave my video on down there. And then there's also all these different colors so you can draw all over the PowerPoint itself. So I'm going to go ahead and teach this as if I were teaching a lesson and record it for my students. So ready? It's going to say 3, 2, 1, and all right, class, I'm going to teach you guys how to find the sum of the angles in any polygon. So first, what I want to do is I want to draw a line starting from any vertex to all the other vertices in the polygon. Right now, I'm working on an octagon with 8 sides, so I'm going to need to draw, looks like I need to draw that many lines to create triangles that come from this vertex to all the other vertices. Let's see, how many triangles did I create? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, so an octagon is made up of 6 triangles. And we know that every triangle is 180 degrees. The sum of all the angles in a triangle is 180. So what would be the sum of the angles in an octagon? Well, since it's made up of 6 triangles and each triangle is 180 degrees, the sum of the angles in an octagon is 1080 degrees. Okay, so that's the lesson. I'm going to hit stop now and just close this out, and now I can escape out of here, and you can see the PowerPoint now has a picture of me down here. This is actually my video, and I can play it to preview it. It has the drawings I drew. You can take this video, you can move it anywhere. If you want the video to be in this corner instead, you can. You could also enlarge the video if you wanted it to be a big picture of you. No, I don't want that. Then I want to just test it out. I hit the preview slideshow, and you can see yourself talking, and you can see the drawing starting to happen. Okay, so it looks like it's working good. And then I can just continue to keep adding slides to my slideshow. And when I'm all done and ready to turn this into a video, I go up to File and Export, and create a video is one of the options there. It has some different options of the file size, and then it also asks you if you want to use the recorded timings and narrations, which is perfect because we did narrate and it did create timings automatically for those. Hit create a video, and then it's just going to ask you where to save it, and you're good to go. Okay, back in the dynamic classroom, I wanted to show you where you can get videos that are already made. So if you are crunched for time, you don't have time to make a video from scratch, you can always grab one that's already made, especially when they are pre-existing in our GVC. So if you go in Big Ideas back to the dynamic classroom, go to the extra example tutorials. Anywhere where it says tutorial, you'll get a video. Once the video is playing, if you right click on it, you can see save video as, and you can save the video and later upload it into Nearpod. In Go Math for middle school, you can get some good videos that can be uploaded into your Nearpod on this Interactive Student Edition. So if you click on the Interactive Student Edition, find the lesson that you want to teach. I'm just going to pick lesson 8.4 from 8th grade. And when you're in the Interactive Student Edition, there it is. There's a video here. That's your essential question video. It kind of introduces the lesson. When it's playing, you can just pause it if you want, and then on the video, right click, and you'll see an option to save the video. I just save it in my downloads, so it's just kind of there temporarily. So that's a good video. It's like a nice introduction. But also, if you skip a couple slides ahead, you might see a math on the spot video. The math on the spot videos usually it's Dr. Berger talking you through one of the problems. So I'm just going to hit pause and save this video as well. And it's going to be in my downloads. Okay, now that I have these videos, I am ready to go upload them into Nearpod. Now in my Nearpod, I'm going to create a new lesson. So I go to Create Lesson, and I will be able to upload the videos that I just downloaded off of the GVC. So I can click on Add a Slide, and of course I have lots of different content options, lots of different activity options, but the one I want to do is I want to upload a video. All right, so click Video, and it's initially going to give you like this little warning that we don't have any videos and video library content, but we can upload a video. So let's click on that, and we can upload it with this blue arrow that's pointing up, and there are the videos that I selected earlier. So I have my introduction in the Go Math book. I can open that one, and it just takes some time for this to upload, so you can go grab a coffee and come back.
For a few moments later, one eternity later.
Okay, now our video is finally done uploading into Nearpod, so we can preview the video.
Into the subway station and sees the blue line and the yellow line trains disappearing in the distance.
All right, so what's really cool about Nearpod is that you can add an activity in the middle of the video. So if you're watching the video and you see a great place for you to ask a question,
She checks the train schedule.
you just hit Add Activity, and you can either ask an open-ended question or a multiple choice question. So I'm going to pick multiple choice, and it just goes into a multiple choice question, and you can make up a question about the video you were just watching. So it's a great way to like keep kids engaged while they're watching the video with you. Let me cancel out of there. Another thing you can do is sometimes the video might be longer than you really wanted. You can trim the video down. If you hit trim, you can just drag the edges to whatever time frame you wanted and make the video a little bit shorter. When you're all done, you hit save, and now you have a video that's interactive with questions in the middle. So there are lots of places where you can get videos that are pre-made for your lessons, especially in the GVC. So I've showed you how to do that. But remember that video we made earlier using PowerPoint. We still have that saved, so we can add that as a video on our Nearpod. So I'm going to click on video, and I'm going to have to upload the video. Again, clicking on upload video, the little arrow up, and finding the video that I saved earlier. So this was from my PowerPoint when I recorded myself on PowerPoint. I'm uploading this video so that I can add questions in the middle of the video. I can add more slides that are more interactive after the video, so it's a great option for creating interactive lessons, especially for those Mondays. All right, so a few seconds later, or maybe a few minutes, the video is uploaded, and I can again add an activity anywhere in the video. So as I'm playing the video, I can decide like, oh, this is where I would want to ask them a question. So it could be something like an open-ended question where you ask how many triangles are in an octagon or something like that. And you just hit save, and now you have a question inserted within your video, so you can keep the kids engaged while they're watching your video. So in Nearpod, you also have the option to add slides that are just basic slides. If you try to add a slide this way, you definitely can do this very easily. You can insert pictures, you can make a nice little font and little theme going on here, and they make nice good basic slides. However, they're not as convenient as working with PowerPoint, so I'm not going to do this today because I want to show you a convenient way using PowerPoint. Here's a blank PowerPoint that I have ready to go. I'm just going to snip some problems from my curriculum and put them on here so that my students have problems to work on. So in my curriculum, I have, I'm just going to go to Go Math, and I'm going to look at some of the resources I have here in Go Math. The differentiated instruction has lots of good worksheets, so I'm going to pick one of these worksheets and copy and paste the problems and put them straight into my PowerPoint. It's very simple to do. If you have the snipping tool, you just open the snipping tool, take a snip of whatever problem you want. Let's say this number 1 here, like that. And you can just hit copy, and in your PowerPoint you can paste. So what's great about PowerPoint is the copy and paste is simple. You can add multiple pictures, and you can add directions on here. You can write down steps for students to follow. So there's lots of options, and everybody's pretty familiar with how to use PowerPoint, so it's a great place to edit and make the worksheets so that you're ready to put them straight onto your Nearpod easily. So I'm going to make a few more slides just like this, and I'll skip ahead so then you can see what the finished product is and then how it's going to look when I upload it onto my Nearpod. Okay, so now I have a few slides that I've put different problems on, and I'm ready to save this and put it onto Nearpod. Okay, back in my Nearpod, now I want to add the problems that I just put onto PowerPoint slides by uploading the file directly into Nearpod. So I'm going to hit Upload Files. You can also drag and drop, but you can hit the little arrow up to upload a file, and then you just need to find the file in your saved files. So what it's going to do is it's going to put all of these slides as individual Nearpod slides. They're not going to be interactive. They're just going to be like photos. They're not going to have any cool features. You get to add the cool features, or add slides in between these slides to make them interactive if you'd like. So it just takes a minute. You can see it is refreshing. There they are. So now I have these 1, 2, 3, 4 slides with the 4 problems I just added. The cool thing is you can select a slide and then hit convert to draw it. And then it's going to ask you if you want to keep a copy of the original slide. I don't want to keep a copy. It would just make one copy that you can draw on and one that you can't draw on. I just need the drawing one, so I'm going to hit no. I don't want an extra copy of it. So it's just going to take this slide and convert it to a drawing slide, and the kids can draw and show their work right onto the problem. So I'm just going to do that for all of these slides that I've just added. These are the problems I want kids to work on, and I want them to be able to draw on it. All right, once I've done that for all 4 slides, if I wanted to go back and add more interactive, fun activities, I can do that. I would just hit add slide here or here, and I can add different activities such as the time to climb, which is a cool feature that's sort of like what you've seen in quizzes, or Kahoot, where they have to like answer questions and try to get to the top of the mountain fastest. There's open-ended question, matching pairs, quizzes. The draw it is what we're doing right now. A collaborate board, fill in the blanks, a poll, memory test, and even Flipgrid, so you could have them record themselves explaining how to do a math problem. Those are kind of fun as well. So those are all the activities you could add to your Power or your Nearpod slides. Now that our Nearpod is all done, we're going to hit save and exit, and it's going to prompt you to title it. Give it a good name. I'm just going to call it Nearpod number 1 for these purposes, and make sure you give it a grade level and a subject. So just pick whatever applies to you. That's just going to make it easier to search for this lesson in the future if you need to. It just gives it a little tag. All right. Now here it is. You will see all of your Nearpod lessons here on your dashboard, but the most recent one will always appear on the top left corner, and that's this one. When you hover over it, you will see an option for live participation or student paced. Live participation would be for if you're going to do this with students live in class with you, and it's going to create a code and a link. So if I hit live participation, you will see a code and a link pop up. The code is nice, but sometimes you have to repeat it. You have to put it in the chat for the kids. It's always easier just to hit the link and copy the link and put it directly in the chat in case somebody mishears one of your letters or something like that. The link is an easy way to get to the Nearpod lesson. Code's a good backup though, so nice to have. For the video ones, it's going to ask you if the teacher should play the video or if the student should play the video, because it's kind of weird when both people are playing the video because there's sound coming from everywhere. So that's nice that it lets you have that choice. I'm thinking the videos would be more for like your asynchronous instruction days, but you have the option here to decide what you would want to do during a synchronous instruction. I'm going to say the teacher plays the video. If you do that, you have to make sure you're sharing your audio when you share your screen. Okay, and you're ready to go. You'll start seeing all of your students appear down here where it says 0. You'll get a list of all the kids as they join. The other option is to create a student-paced lesson, and it works kind of the same. You can get a code, you can get a link, but it also gives you an expiration date. You can adjust the expiration date on this. You can require students to respond and prevent skipping. You can turn that feature on or off. But again, you want to get the link. It's probably the easiest way, just to copy this link and then paste it as your assignment, share it with the students, however you like to share things with your students. But this would be for a asynchronous lesson where they're doing it at their own pace. So they are able to go through the slides as fast as or as slow as they like to. Nearpod can also give you some great reports. You can get lots of data back on how your kids are doing with their lessons, whether they're asynchronous or synchronous lessons. So I just clicked on reports on the left-hand side. I'm going to go over this lesson that I did, It has the date and it tells you how many students participated in that lesson. And if I click on it, I can get a detailed report of everyone's work during that lesson. You can download this report as well, but you can see everyone's participation. It gives a percentage for that for each portion of the lesson. So there was an open-ended question, a draw it slide, matching pairs, fill in the blanks. You can see who participated and what they did. And if you want to see further details on this, you can click on the top, because right now I'm in the summary, but if you wanted to see, like, for example, what they did on their draw it slide, I can just open these up, these little drop-down menus, and I can click on individual little thumbnails to see a bigger view of the work that the student did. So it's a great way to give points based on not just participation, but also work accomplished during class or asynchronously. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you were able to take a few new learns from this video and use them to support your synchronous or asynchronous lessons. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. Bye.